All right. Doing a quick video on my own about the URC of the weekend. It's a bit of a rainy day, so no one's really having a braai or anything today, so I'm just going to go through the matches quickly. First match of the weekend was Munster Ospreys. Difficult game for Ospreys. They scored first. It was 3-0 early on, and that was the only points they scored. And Munster just compounded all the issues currently in Welsh rugby. So a very difficult day out. Munster looking fantastic. They had a slow start under new coach Graham Roundtree, but they're really gaining momentum. They're up to 5th on the log, Ospreys in 12th, and they are looking great. They're looking fantastic. They're just going from strength to strength and improving every week. And then a game that I watched intently was Glasgow Ulster. A titanic battle. Glasgow, obviously there's a South African interest with the coach, with Franco Smith, but great match. Glasgow scoring 3 tries on a terrible, weather-wise, a terrible evening. But they really did the basics extremely well. The attack was good. Dempsey was extremely good. Scored a try, but he was man of the match in the end. And such a close battle, such a great advert for the game and for the URC. And a great win for Glasgow, which puts them in 4th place on the log and Ulster in 3rd. So that's a very healthy position for them. And considering we've spoken about a few times what happened to them in the quarterfinal last time around, this was really a great performance against one of the top Irish teams. And then the Lions, Sharks. The Sharks won convincingly in the end away from home. The weather was like this. It was wet. It was wet on the high veld for both the South African derby games, which made for a bit of a scrappy affair, a bit of a low-scoring game in the beginning. But a couple of great individual tries, one from Kerwin Bosch, one from Marius Lowe, really got the game going. But then the Sharks took over at the end. It was quite close. It was 17-7 until close to the end. But the Sharks showed their class, and they've got a fantastic bench. Such class coming off the bench, and they just ran away with the game in the end. And they just proved that the talent at the moment is at the coast in South African rugby, in the Sharks and the Stormers. Yeah, then Stormers Bulls, difficult game for a Bulls fan, but great for the Stormers. They were definitely the better team on the day. Did the basics much better. They were better in the scrums. Scrums was a bit of a ding-dong battle. A few interesting calls, but all in all, they dominated. Just more direct, higher intensity. The weather conditions might have suited them a little bit, and the Bulls just. It seems like losing has become a bit of a habit for them in the last few games. They were flat. There was no variation between playing deep and a flat ball. When they were close to the line, it was just pick and go or small pods, pod after pod after pod until they lost the ball. They had a chance right at the end of the game to win it with a maul, and there's just like no conviction. There's no fire, no intensity, no precision. So many knock-ons. So many knock-ons. You just lost count. So many steals on the ground. Poor protection of the ball. But that's the Bulls' things that they struggle with in a home game that you would think that they would have a good chance of winning. And on the other hand, you had the Stormers where when there were big moments. I mean, their first try was such good vision from Herschel Yankees to throw a wide ball to Tennyson, and he had an easy run in for the try. And those things, when you work hard to try and put points on the board, those things really break your spirit. And they just did all the right things at the right time. But it was we really hope for a bit of momentum for the Bulls. So they're sitting in 6th and the Stormers in 2nd. And then it was Connacht Zebre at home, still winless, 57-34. So they scored quite a few points. I keep saying that hopefully they get close to that first win but a difficult game for them again. Still sitting in 16th. Connacht moved into the playoff positions. They're in 8th, so that's very good for them. We kept on saying, we keep saying every week that they sort of, the results are worse than what the team is actually. They're a better team than what the results show. And then Scarlets carrying on with great form against Edinburgh, who we've highly rated all the time, and they are also in a bit of a slump. But great, it's a shining light for Welsh rugby that the Scarlets are actually have been performing well. They did well in Europe. They beat the Bulls last time out. Now they've beaten what you could say is a stronger team on paper in Edinburgh. Some people might disagree, but they are on a great run, and that is really good for Welsh rugby that is struggling at the moment. And then Cardiff Benetton, good win for Cardiff. They're sitting on 9th, so they're just below the playoff spots, and Benetton in 10th. So they've moved out of the top 8 with a few bad losses. And then Leinster, 16 wins out of 16. They're still first, beat the Dragons 43-14. Another convincing win for them. Okay, so big news for us, derby games, Bulls Stormers, Sharks Lions. Well done to the coastal teams. That's where the strength lies at the moment. Hopefully we can see some change. Big debate about coaches and this and that. People calling for Ivan van Rooyen at the Lions head. People calling for Jake White's head. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Jake was away for a while now. Maybe time is catching up with him. Maybe fresh blood needs to come in. But I think we should just give him a little bit more time and see if he can come up with some plans. I think the Bulls are lacking in the front row. A few other areas. But yeah, we'll have to watch the space and see what happens. Okay, thanks. Cheers.